Hello, hi, and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be starting another reading vlog in the middle of a series. Yes. So this reading vlog is going to be about Glass Sword by Victoria Aveyard. It's the second book in the Red Queen series. I'm so excited. I am so freaking excited for this one. I read Red Queen last month and I absolutely loved it. I was addicted. Oh my gosh. I literally brought it for jury selection because I was like, it's the first in the series. Like, maybe I won't be into it. So, like, I won't have as many emotions, facial expressions, overall embarrassment. Turns out that's not the case because I was so freaking into Red it. Queen was... It's a fantasy about a girl called Mare who lives in a world where there are reds and silvers. And silvers are people who bleed silver and have these special abilities, like they can control water, air, lightning. They have super strength. And because of that, they believe themselves to be gods and believe that it is their right, their divine right, to reign over reds who are just like normal humans who bleed red. And so Mare is a red, and reds don't have good living conditions. It's not great for them. It's not great. And basically when you turn 18 as a red, if you don't already have a job, which is like, it's like crazy hard to get a job, they make you join the army and go fight in this war that's pretty much guaranteeing that you're gonna die. And so Mare's about to turn 18. She doesn't have a job, and she's just like desperate. She's just like, she wants to save her little sister. She wants to save her best friend, Kalorn. And so one day she meets this guy, Cal, who she thinks is a red, and he offers to get her a job at the palace. And she's so desperate that she's like, oh my God, yes, like that would be amazing. And then she's like, maybe I can end up getting like jobs for the rest of my family and my friend, and like, it's gonna be so great, right? So she shows up to the palace to work as a servant, and she finds out that, turns out Cal, not actually a red, he's a silver, and not just any silver, but he's the prince, and he will take the throne, like he's the next in line. And then also she finds out that she has special abilities, and she finds this out in front of all silver nobility. Bad. It's just bad. It's bad. And so Cal's stepmother, the queen, is like, no, this won't do. Because if reds find out that they can have powers, then the power structure of this entire kingdom could change, and like they could overturn silvers, and the queen is like, no, absolutely not. We can't have that. So she basically like blackmails Mare into pretending that she was a silver and didn't know it. And she has to like go along with this whole thing, and they engage her to Cal's younger half brother, Maven. It's a lot. And there's a love triangle square because I did not like that. And then that's the only reason I gave it a 4 instead of a 5, because I was obsessed. But your girl hates a love triangle, and this one had 4 people. So the 4 people, and I feel like I have to say this because I feel like it's going to play a really big part in the books. Like, I just feel it. So obviously Mare. Then you have Kalorn. Kalorn is the best friend. He's a red. He's grown up with Mare. It's kind of been assumed that Kalorn and Mare were always going to end up together. They were going to get married, they were going to have kids. Like, it's just kind of always been assumed. I personally did not feel like there was any actual romantic feelings between Kalorn and Mare. I felt like it was more just like, I love him as my best friend, and because he's my best friend, like, we'll probably end up together. But I never got like an actual romantic sense that Kalorn and Mare liked each other romantically. Maybe Kalorn just wasn't in the book enough for me to feel that, but I never got that. But I absolutely feel like he will be involved in this love rectangle because it was assumed that he was going to marry her. So I feel like maybe he has feeling. I don't know. Then we have Maven, obviously, the prince that Mare is actually engaged to. And I thought he was a snake in the grass from the start. I did not trust him because he was so bitter about Cal, because Cal is like the best at everything. Like, Cal is the greatest, he's the smartest, the strongest. You know, Cal's gonna be the king, and Maven is just forgotten. Like, nobody cares about Maven. And so he's always been very bitter towards Cal. And like, I just didn't trust it. I never trusted Maven. And not even like Maven himself, but the fact of like who Maven's mother was. Because I was like, you know, even if Maven is completely innocent, I just cannot imagine that this queen, who is literally blackmailing Mare, is just going to allow Cal to take the throne instead of her own son. Because if Cal's out of the picture, then Maven would be the next in line. So I was like, I just don't believe that this manipulating... No, did not believe for 1 second. Did not trust Maven. Did not trust him. And then we have Cal. Cal and Mare forever! I love them. I felt like Cal was the most realistic. I definitely felt like Cal and Mare were the only ones that kind of had any sort of connection. Romantically, I love it. And the end, oh my gosh, the end. I cannot. Like, usually I finish books and I'm like, ooh, like I'm just terrified to go on to the next one. But I finished Red Queen and I was like, yes, like, I can't wait for the second one. So I'm very excited about this. My Cal and Mare heart is like really hoping that that's a thing. Yes, please. And I will update you once I get into this. So I'm only like 50 pages into it, but I am loving it so far. The dynamic between Mare and Cal is exactly how I wanted it, how I hoped and prayed that it would be in this book. And I love when Mare is constantly like, where's Cal? I'm not leaving without Cal, because nobody else really cares. They're like, oh, he's the enemy, if he dies, whatever. But Mare's like, no, like, I'm gonna save him, I'm gonna protect him. And I'm just like, yes. I really hope that it doesn't end with like them betraying each other in some way. Like, I refuse to accept that, but I'm just absolutely loving it right now. So excited. So I got to a part where I thought that Kalorn had betrayed Mare, and I was side-eyeing the shit out of him. Turns out I was wrong. That's not actually what happened, but I felt like it could be, because I don't know, I just feel like Kalorn is so for the cause that he will ultimately end up betraying Mare for his own cause against Silvers. I don't know, I think it was so believable to me because it just felt like something that Kalorn as a character would do. So I'm curious to see, like, how that's going to carry over. Continuing on. But also, Mare is basically like, I really like Cal, but I'm gonna set those feelings aside so we can focus on the, bigger issue at hand. And I'm just like, how long are we gonna fight this? How long? How many books am I gonna have to wait? Okay, so I'm about 40% into the book. And it's interesting. I like it because it's very much been a lot of like a group. So it's like Mare, Cal, Kalorn, Farley, and Shade. And I like that. I like when it's kind of like a group that goes out, because I'm really enjoying the dynamics of that. There's definitely the love triangle is at play. It's definitely at play. It's definitely there. There's such an awkwardness between Cal and Kalorn, who just seem to forever kind of be in competition with each other. And a lot of it, I feel like, doesn't even really have to do with Mare. It's more just like, because they've been on opposite sides their whole life, they just don't even know how to interact. particularly Kalorn, because the two of them are skilled in different areas. There's like Kalorn is like whenever he kind of comes out on top, he is almost like very smug about it and like looks down on Cal, which in turn I think kind of makes Cal turn into that a little bit. Um, but it kind of reminds me of the Hunger Games, like when they're walking through the forest and stuff, and like Kalorn and Mare are like super skilled and quiet, and then there's Cal who's like breaking all these branches, and like it just reminds me of Peeta, and Kalorn is such a Gale. He's such a Gale. But I will say that I still don't see like a romantic connection between Kalorn and Mare. Maybe from Kalorn's point of view, which we're not getting, which is great because I don't like multiple points of view. But from Mare, I just feel like she sees him as a friend. Like whenever she talks about him, she wants to like protect him. She wants a life where he is in it, but she never says like, "Oh, I want a life where I'm married to Kalorn or I'm with Kalorn in any way." Like she literally just sees him as a friend. And then there's Cal, who she has this connection with, and she keeps, like, every time she feels like a spark, where she feels like he is, like, there for her, she's like, no, no distractions. She literally says it all the time because she really likes Cal, but she doesn't want to go down that road. And there was one quote where it was like, I know he's gonna leave me. Like, it's just a matter of time before he leaves me, and I need to, like, start preparing my heart for it. And I'm like, oh my God. But it's true because, like, they both have such trust issues after everything that happened in the first book that I feel like they're both just kind of sitting around waiting for the next betrayal. And I feel like it's going to happen. Not necessarily with them, and, like, I hope that it's not them, but, like, I'm literally reading this just expecting someone from, like, that little group of, like, 5 to betray Mare. But it's good. Came to check in to say I hate Maven. I hate him so much. They just walked into a trap, and I don't even know what he did, but he did something that was like incredibly painful to Mare. I hate him. I hate him. I hate Maven so much. Yeah. I'm assuming Cal is gonna somehow stop this because they had like taken Shade away and it was literally just like Cal and Farley left to fight because Maven was like doing something terrible to Mare. So I'm assuming Cal somehow, I hope he incinerates him, to be honest, but I'm assuming Cal does something to save her. I hate Maven so much. Have I told you how much I hate Maven lately? Because I do. He is truly vile. Like, just absolutely disgusting. The branding, gross. Women aren't property, buddy. Like, get out. Get out. The baby, he's disgusting. There is no redeeming him. He is dead to me. Absolutely hate him. He's ruining my good time. Like, gross, disgusting. Ew. Ew. You know, as if my opinion of the whole love rectangle hadn't been made up. But then you have Kalorn. And I was right. I was right. I knew it. I knew that Kalorn had feelings for Mare, but Mare does not reciprocate. She literally sees him as a friend. He's so damn jealous of Cal, and then tries to play it off like he's trying to protect her, and I'm like, okay, but also you're in love with her, so... And now he's just like pouting, and now Mare and Cal be spending every night together. But she's going to protect him because that's what she does. So she's going to protect him by not telling him what's going on, not telling him the truth. She's going to get herself into a situation, like a bad one, and poor Cal is just going to be in the dark because he has no idea what's going on with these notes and everything because she's keeping it from him. I just love them, but she is so convinced that he's going to leave her. She's so convinced, and it's like truly heartbreaking to see like how much she likes him, but how much she's fighting it because she knows that in the end she's gonna be alone. And it's so sad. I'm like, why are we fighting this? Why? Like, I'm so scared for what the end of this book is gonna be because I think I'm at like 60%. So I'm scared. I'm so scared. Like, Cal and Mare, like, we're finally getting a taste of that, and it's all gonna be taken away. And I just feel like she's gonna end up sacrificing herself and going back to Maven to, like, save this legion of children. Third book's gonna kill me. I'm not. I hate Maven. Ugh. So I just finished the prison chapter, and I literally finished and I was like, what just happened? What just happened? I am upset. I was literally holding my breath that entire time because I was like, oh my gosh, I have no idea what's gonna happen. And I had so many scenarios in my head of, that was not one of them. Okay? I'm upset. I'm upset. What? But I did have a theory about Farley from a comment like a couple chapters back. So now I'm like, well, yeah, I'm probably definitely right based on what just happened. What? I'm so upset. I'm so upset. Of all the... Why? Why? I just want to know why. I'm upset. That was devastating. So I finished. This was a lot. This was a lot. I think I'm ultimately gonna give this 4 stars. I've got to share my feelings about the end of this book, and then I'll get into like the ultimate like review of it. But yeah, I think I'm gonna go with 4 stars. So the end of this book was like a freaking roller coaster of emotions. Okay, so I'm devastated by what happened at the prison. And then I'm like confused and mad, angry at Mare for her behavior and like applauding Cal for calling it out because, yes, she was acting ridiculous. But then I was kind of upset because I was like, oh great, the book's gonna end and like Cal and Mare aren't even gonna be on good terms. Wonderful. Love to hate it. Love to hate it. Don't want to see it. But then there was like a weird moment where I was like torn between being like super excited that Cal and Mare were like finally telling each other their feelings. Were they even telling each other, or was it more with their eyes? They were saying it with their eyes, but also like terrified at like what was happening and not really understanding what was happening until it was too late. And the end, Maven, get out of here. Disgusting. Disgusting. Like, I dreaded the moment that was going to happen, but I was not at all expecting that. My jaw was literally on the floor. I was like, can someone please tell Maven that they are not animals to be branded and leashed? Thank you very much. What? Terrible. Terrible. I freaking hate him. So overall, like I said, I'm gonna give this a 4 because I did enjoy it. I enjoyed the group dynamic of it, and in the original group, like I love Mare and Cal, obviously. Farley, I really liked her. Shade, really liked, and I was, did I love Kalorn? I didn't hate Kalorn, and that was another reason why this got a 4. I was expecting this love triangle to be present throughout the entire book, and in a sense it was, but not in the way that I thought it was going to be, and I really appreciated that. They definitely had Kalorn have feelings for Mare, and Kalorn was definitely somebody that Mare thought of often, but it was clear, at least to me, and watch, like in future books that might change, but it was clear to me that Mare literally only saw Kalorn as a friend. And even though Kalorn had feelings for Mare, it wasn't, it was never like they didn't kiss, they didn't, like, there was never like a moment between them. It was just like Kalorn confessed his feelings. Mare basically said, I don't feel the same way, like, I love you, but as a friend, and I want to protect you. And like, he pouted, but I don't even think that that was really about Mare, and more that like she didn't want him to go on missions because she wanted to protect him. So I really appreciated that although there was a love triangle, it wasn't like a ridiculous one where she was so torn between Cal and Kalorn. It was more like she recognized that Kalorn liked her, and she was torn on whether or not to act on her feelings for Cal. More so than like, oh my gosh, I'm torn between two people. Super, super appreciated that that was not the direction that at least this book went in. Obviously, I can't speak for future books, but I was glad that that was not the case with this. And now, let me, Cal and Mare. Okay, can I just go through? I love them. I love Cal. I really felt like it did a good job of kind of showing how much the betrayal of the first book really affected both of them. Because Mare, you could tell that Mare really liked Cal. But every time that she did, she would kind of pull herself back or talk herself out of it, or like allow herself a little bit like, oh, I'll sleep in Cal's bed every single night, but like nothing's gonna happen because then I can, then I can say, well, nothing's going on, like I'm not really with him even though you're with him. But for me, it was very obvious that Cal, like, is in love with Mare and that he was never going to leave. But obviously, since the book was from Mare's point of view, we didn't, like, know that for sure. We just got Mare's opinion on it. And it was heartbreaking to see her, from the beginning all the way until the end, be convinced that eventually Cal was going to leave her and she was going to be alone. Okay, but like, can we just talk for a second about how Cal was literally the only one who could ever calm down Mare and like quite literally envelop her in his warmth. And like, it was just so obvious to me that these two were meant to be together, and it was so cute. It was so cute. And like, how it was not obvious, I mean, it literally was, like, to everyone that, like, they were a thing and they were meant to be, and I just love them so much. And I'm gonna be so mad if they're not endgame. I always thought that it would be Kalorn that kind of went off the rails for the cause, but it was actually Mare in this book. Thank you, Cal, for calling that out. And what I thought was going to happen happened, but not necessarily in the same way, or in the way that I thought it was going to happen. Maven is just vile. He is vile. I could see how Mare might have been torn in the first book, but he... Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Maven he's evil. He's freaking evil. I don't care how he became evil. I'm not one of those people who likes the villain. I don't. Give me the cinnamon roll, please and thank you. The villains do not interest me. I don't care how Maven got to be how he was. I don't care that, they blame his mother. I don't care. Like, what he did in this book was truly vile, and I hate him. There's no redeeming him. And I'm not looking forward to the third book. I got to the end, and I was like, third book's gonna be all of, like, I'm not excited. I'm not excited. I really enjoyed this one. Loved it. Was a really, really good time. I'm not excited for the third one. I'm not excited. I'm scared. Based on the ending of this, I'm scared of what's to come, because what? I literally, like, it was like I could not comprehend what was happening. I was like, he did what? No. But obviously, I really enjoyed this book. I gave it 4 stars. It was such a fun time. Like, I was shocked so many times. Oh, and also, I was right about Farley. I knew it. But yeah, I really liked it. I'm definitely going to continue with the series, but I'm scared. I'm super scared. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. And if you'd like to subscribe, please do so, because I will surely be doing vlogs. I mean, obviously for more series, but as well as this one, the third and the fourth book. And I think there's also like a fifth book that has a few novellas. But yeah, thank you so much. And I'll see you in the next reading vlog. Bye.